Good afternoon. I guess we can all hear me through this mask, right, today? I'm Dean Alexa Seifbergen, and I want to welcome all of you here today, students, faculty, staff, family, and friends, to the 2020 Nursing Light the Lamp ceremony at the University of Texas at Austin. Some 170 years ago, Florence Nightingale used her lamp as a beacon in the night to comfort and guide the care of the wounded in military hospitals. Her light has blazed a path of service through the countless nurses who have followed in her footsteps. Today, our Light the Lamp celebrates the flame of Florence Nightingale's legacy. And I would like to take just a moment to reflect on the key themes of her legacy and how important each of those themes remains for us today. These themes are use of evidence. Now, 170 years ago, Florence Nightingale was talking about how important evidence-based practice is. We would call it research as well today. Ventilation, clean air, and the ability to access it. Certainly, we're very concerned about ventilation today, right? And the ability to access it as well. Personal and household cleanliness, patient observation, proper management of the environment, and advocacy. Most importantly, Florence Nightingale taught those first trained nurses. That's what they called them at that time. We call it education today. But she taught them the skills and habits of observation and assessment, including what and how to observe and how to report facts rather than opinions. And I know that you have all learned those skills as well. Today, we symbolically take up our own lanterns of compassionate, competent caring. And I want to emphasize that those two go together, compassion and competence, each in our own way to ensure that we are more brightly walk our own path of service to the world. Through humanistic, patient-centered care, let us be the keepers of that flame and emphasize a value that has been at the center of what we teach and practice at the University of Texas at Austin School of Nursing. You are our 10th group of students who will take an oath to provide compassionate care prior to the beginning of your clinical experience. You are the first group, however, to take the Nightingale Pledge to provide high quality and compassionate care. The lamp lighting ceremony formally recognizes a student's entry into the nursing profession. As part of today's ceremony, you will each receive a specially designed pin for nursing students that will serve as a visual reminder of your commitment as a nurse to provide competent and compassionate care. You will also receive a tea light as a symbol of the lamp and knowledge. By having the School of Nursing host today's Light the Lamp ceremony, I am reiterating to you two important messages. First, that competent, compassionate care is the hallmark of clinical practice. The skill and the knowledge, together with the compassion, are essential. Second, that we, as a School of Nursing, take great pride in having you represent Longhorn Nursing as you embark on your clinical experience. Make no mistake about it, I hear and others hear about how our students do out in the clinical settings, how they represent us as a school. I generally hear all great things, and I would like it to stay that way, okay? So I know you will follow in the footsteps of those who went before you. This event is not only a ceremony, but also a celebration, and a celebration of the high quality, skilled healthcare and service that you as long-term nursing students provide to the community. We are pleased today to have one of our faculty members, Dr. Anna Todd, to provide the keynote for today's ceremony. Dr. Todd is a strong exemplar of the very intelligent and compassionate care that we are recognizing today. Dr. Todd?
Okay, let's see how this. Oh, it's working. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. How is everyone doing today? Nodding your heads. It's hard to see. It's hard to see smiles, so I just picture all those great smiles on your faces. Okay, well, thanks for coming today. You hear me? Okay. Is that better? Okay. Okay, so over the last couple of years, you've learned the theory of what it means to be a nurse. What does it mean to be a nurse? And now you're going to be able to provide that nursing care at the bedside and in the community. You'll be applying what we call the art and science of nursing. But today I'm going to focus on the art of nursing through compassionate care. The dictionary definition of compassion is as follows: sympathetic consciousness of others, distress together with a desire to alleviate it. So when I asked the majority of my 5 children to define compassionate/compassionate care, these were the following comments. Compassion is when you put yourself in the place of a person who's in need of help and take action to make it better. That was, at that time, my college-age political science major. It's not just sympathy. Compassion is when you feel empathetic towards your patient. You meet them where they are and then do something that will help them be independent. Compassionate care is when you notice that was the same daughter. Compassionate care is when you notice the gentleman who has been wearing the same dirty socks for a week in rehab, and you ask him if he wants a fresh pair of socks. That's my OT daughter. Compassion is walking around in someone else's shoes so that you can help them. That's my nurse daughter. Compassion is gentle, kind, sympathy. Compassionate care is when you take the time to engage in your patient. It's the little things you do. That's my son who's a lawyer. And then I chose not to interview my oldest son because he's a financial advisor and it just depends on his mood. So I didn't ask him, depending on what's happening on Wall Street. So for my small survey, I was able to get the sense that compassion can have slightly different meanings. But consistent is the notion that compassion is a sentiment that serves as a catalyst that fuels an action, a caring action, right? So it's not just a sentiment. We need to do something about it. Compassion and compassionate care is the core element of nursing, as Dean Steiffbergen mentioned. In fact, compassion is so essential to nursing that the very first provision of the ANA Code of Ethics, who took ethics in here? Oh, yay, all of you, I had some of you. The Code of Ethics states, quote, the nurse practices with compassion and respect for the inherent dignity, worth, and unique attributes of every person. Okay. So what does compassion and compassionate care look like? Who's ever spent time or know anybody who has spent time in the hospital? Okay. Well, I can tell you from personal experience. As a patient for 2 back surgeries, I recall that most of the nurses would glide in the room with their very gloved hands, and at that time most of the time they weren't wearing masks at the time. Came in, what's your pain, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your pain level? I got so tired, I wanted to say it's 4.6258. But there was no compassion. It was, I have to get these meds done, I need to get the skills done, but there wasn't the compassion. So there was one nurse, and she actually happened to be an instructor. And she actually came in and she pulled up the chair and she said, "How are you?" I hadn't heard those words. I thought I was going to, I said, what? You're talking to me? You're not talking at me? So, and she was willing to touch me. And I know you need to get permission because I taught ethics, okay? But she was willing to be present, okay? I was so grateful for her compassionate care that day. Why? Because she recognized that I was in need of support. She made good eye contact. She spoke to me, not at me. And she was reassuring and present. Just being there was a comfort. So that's an example of compassionate care. One of the other beautiful examples of compassionate care, and there's so many that I can think of, but one of them is when my friend who was a clinical nurse specialist, she's actually a blind nurse, but she wasn't blind. She was at UT getting her CNS. She's a certified nurse specialist in geriatrics. But she was taking care of a 90-year-old man who was admitted into the hospital. She did care management. And she received a call from his wife, who was also ill and was also hospitalized. But he was placed, they were both put on the same floor, but on different wings. The husband wanted so desperately to see his wife. They hadn't been separated for 65 years. And he was too weak to see her, even getting him in a wheelchair. So she got really creative. She went down to the ER. And she asked the ER nurses, she said, "Could I borrow a gurney? Could I bring patient, put his wife on the gurney so the wife can be with her husband?" At first, the nurses were like, "Are you kidding me? You're going to take this gurney out of the ER?" She was very creative. She was persistent. She was a patient advocate and was able to do it. So what they did is they put him, or her, actually I think it was him, and they put them together, one on a gurney by the bedside, so they could hold hands as she passed away. I mean, that is compassionate care. That's compassionate care. Truly. I've also had the privilege of watching my seniors, the S2s at the Trinity Center, working with women experiencing homelessness and listening to the stories of the experiences. And the beautiful part of it is that these students were present. They're there to listen. And a lot of times the clients would just thank them for being there, for listening when no one else was there to listen to them. So these are just a few examples of compassionate care. It's a manifestation of the art of nursing. Walk around in your patient's shoes, empathize with them, and most of all, act on it so that you can help your patients maintain their independence and their dignity. I'd like to add that while you're practicing compassion, you need to practice self-compassion. You probably have heard people say, "How can you take care of others if you're not taking care of yourself?" Most of us choose nursing as a profession to nurture and care for others. And many of us in this profession ignore our own self-care and fail to engage in self-compassion. Kristen Neff, a renowned expert in self-compassion, she's actually a professor right here at the University of Texas, defines self-compassion as a self-attitude that involves treating oneself with warmth and understanding in difficult times and recognizing that making mistakes is a part of being human. We're not supposed to be perfect. She goes on to say that being self-compassionate is treating yourself in the same way you would treat a good friend when you're having hard times. you fail or notice that something that you don't like about yourself by being supportive and loving, right? So remember, while you're busy making a difference in your patients' lives, undoubtedly I know you will, be self-compassionate. Please take time to mindfully shower yourself with self-compassion and know that you're not supposed to be perfect. Florence Nightingale, the Lady of the Lamp, was the embodiment of compassion and our role model for compassionate care. She was named the Lady of the Lamp because of her reputation of carrying a lamp in the darkness to attend to those suffering and others. This lamp symbolizes the light that we bring as nurses to our suffering patients. The light is the hope that we give to our patients through compassionate care. Remember to embrace the privilege we have as nurses to make a difference. Now more than ever, I ask you to continue to carry the lamp and be the light in the darkness. So I'm going to leave you. Today marks the celebration into your opportunity. It's to be one of the countless nurses who will be passionate about compassionate care. So go forth and carry the lamp proudly. I am going to leave you at the request of one of your faculty members. I'm going to leave you with a poem. And I want you to remember this poem as you're taking care of your patients. What do you see, nurse? What do you see, nurse? What do you see? What are you thinking when you're looking at me? A crabby old woman, not very wise, uncertain of habit with faraway eyes, who dribbles her food and makes no reply when you say in a loud voice, I do wish you tried, who seems not to notice the things that you do and forever is losing a stocking or shoe. Who resisting or not lets you do as you will, with bathing and feeding the long day to fill. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you see? And open your eyes, nurse, you're not looking at me. I'll tell you who I am as I sit here so still, as I do your bidding, at your bidding, as I eat at your will. I'm a small child of 10 with a mother and a father, brothers and sisters who love one another. A young girl of 16 with wings on her feet, dreaming that soon now a lover shall meet. A bride soon at 20, my heart gives a leap, remembering the vows that I promised to keep. Whoops, is this the disaster drill? Sorry. At 25 now I had young of my own, who need me to guide and a secure, happy home. A woman of 30, my young now grown fast, bound to each other with ties that should last. At 40, my young sons have grown and are gone, but my man's beside me to see I don't mourn. At 50, once more, babies play round my knee. Again we know children, my loved one and me. Dark days are upon me, my husband is dead. I look at the future, I shudder with dread. For my young are all rearing young of their own, and I think of the years and the love that I've known. I'm now an old woman, and nature's cruel. 'Tis just to make old age look like a fool. The body it crumbles, grace and vigor depart. There's now a stone where I once had a heart. But inside this old carcass, a young girl still dwells. And now and again my battered heart swells. I remember the joys, I remember the pain, and I'm loving and living life over again. I think of the years all too few gone too fast, and accept the stark fact that nothing can last. So open your eyes, nurse, open and see, not a crabby old woman. Look closer, see me. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Todd, for bringing back that poem. Every time I hear it, this means more and more each time, and it's even more now during this pandemic. And thank you for sharing with us your wisdom and your stories, and reminding us that right now it's so important for self-care as well. And hello students, I just want to remind you, my name is Nguyen. I'm the Assistant Dean for Student Services. As you know, I wear many hats, and right now I get to play MC for the rest of your event. Congratulations on your milestone. We're all very proud of you. We're very excited for you. And we know that you're going to conquer this next milestone and be super at the next level. In fact, just to assure you that people live through J1, we brought back someone who lived through J1 to share with you stories. Tiffany Mir Perez, she's going to share with you her experience and some words. Come on. Is that the lapel? Just click it. Does the green light come on?
Yes.
Okay, you got it.
Sorry about that. Good afternoon, family, friends, and loved ones. Welcome to the Fall 2020 Light the Lamp Pinning Ceremony. My name is Tiffany, and I'm currently a first semester senior at UT. I'm here today to share with you my experience when I was a J1 and help calm your nerves and provide some tidbits of wisdom I wish I had when I was in your position. First off, I want to congratulate all of you who are here today. Regardless if you were admitted directly as a freshman or later as a transfer student, you have earned and deserved the spot you sit in today. The work you have tackled, whether the fast-paced lectures of Intro to Patient-Centered Nursing Care or the endless nights studying for human physiology, has set the foundation for what nursing school will present in the upcoming semesters. Your journey has not been the easiest. On top of an already rigorous course load, many of you may be volunteers or essential workers in a pandemic that has not been seen in this country for the past 100 years. Your ability to persevere, not only physically and socially, but mentally, has shaped you to be some of the most resilient students the School of Nursing has seen so far. During my first clinical experience, I was nervous, excited, but most of all, tired. The mornings were most definitely not my friend, and to this day are still not. As I followed my nurse around on the unit, I was eager to implement the skills I learned on someone besides Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Odell. One of the first patients I cared for was an elderly male who was admitted into the unit because he had sepsis, a bacterial infection in his bloodstream. He was tired and difficult to awake at any point during my shift, so I decided to go to the computer and pull up everything I expected my professor to quiz me over. When my instructor came by for my report, I was able to recite my patient's vital signs, medications they should be receiving during my shift, and why they were admitted to the hospital in the first place. But once it was time to enter the room, I could not even tell you what my patient's name was, if they had any family, or how they were feeling. It was only once I realized this that I had to actively change my approach to clinicals. Staying in the hospital is not just a place to fine-tune your medication administrations or your assessments, but your communication with others. You must constantly remind yourself to take the time to think about what they have been through. Acknowledge their feelings and show the empathy, kindness, and warmth that is always needed in life. They are someone's mother, father, brother, sister, friend, or spouse, and each one has a story that is inherently unique that deserves being listened to. As my instructor once told me, the details they disclose to you will be the juice that allows you to improve their overall well-being in a way objective measures cannot always do. From my time as a J1, I struggled with the idea of perfectionism and what I believed was expected from me by others, rather than what was actually expected. Frightening and stressful, I equated it to walking on a tightrope with no practice and no one holding your hand. It was daunting. I told myself that I was expected to continue and never fall, because I did not know what was waiting for me if I did. What I did not realize until later was I had an entire network of students, instructors, and other faculty acting as a safety net to catch me if I fall and encourage me to continue practicing. To this day, I still forget something on a head-to-toe assessment or why a certain intervention is being implemented for a patient, and that is okay. The instructors do not expect you to know everything. They are there to clear up any uncertainty and fine-tune your skills until you know what to do next time. And once that time comes when you know better, you do better, as Maya Angelou, the American poet and civil rights activist, once said. My biggest advice to you as you move forward is to never be afraid of being uncertain. Knowing your weaknesses and acknowledging them will be your strength. Have faith in yourself because you're more capable than you think. Have faith in your instructors and tell yourself, I got this. Stay happy, stay healthy, and hook 'em horns.
Thank you, Tiffany, for sharing your insight with us. I think they are less stressed out and really ready now. Okay, yeah. So we will now proceed with the pinning and Nightingale pledge. As your name is called, please come up front. Dr. Janice Hernandez will join us up front and call you forward, 3 students at a time. Okay, and then when you come up, there is we mark in red up here to help you with social distancing. Right? So we study that far off. And then after the pinning, Dr. Hernandez will ask you to light your candles and recite the Nightingale pledge. All of you also should already have a pen. So if you don't, please raise your hand and read a note. Okay? So Dr. Hernandez, if you could come up, I'm going to move this over here for you. So you can so please.
Can you hear me? So I'm going to call your name 3 at a time, and you all can come up and put your hand on your jacket or on your ball, shirt, and welcome everyone. Crystal Adele, Christine Adele, Lauren Frederick. Caroline Burton, Meg Wright, Aurora Malone. Timothy Smith, Samira Lewis, Tuba Desai. Jeanette Della Saragul, Steph Duvon, Isabella Grace LaHaye. Alexa, yes. Lisa Gomez Faria, Kennedy Cook, Brianna Johnson. Sunny King, Tay Kim, Reshma Kurian. Jacob Lawrence, CJ Devon, and Paige Lindsay. Anne Lee, Adriana Martinez, Jamie Medina. Freya Merendorf, Audrey Moore, Taylor Moore. Brandon Milne, Michelle Wynn, Jenna Nichols. Holly Pink, Lisa Patel, Allison Pemberton. Norma Corrales, Taylor Perea, Tiffany Pham. Bailey Reagan, Meredith Ralph, Kendall Delia Reynolds, Jordan Roby. Jessica Marie Rosario, Cassandra Salai, Gerardo Salazar. Priya Samuel, Mary Sai, Carly Sucker. Emily Water, Hannah Kendall, Sophia Soder. Now all together we will stage the Nightingale pledge. Stand by, please. I pledge in the presence of this assembly to honorably practice my profession of nursing. I pledge to be the best nurse I can be by applying evidence-based practice, engaging in lifelong learning, collaborating with colleagues, and educating those in my care. I will do these things remembering quality patient care as my main priority. I pledge to communicate effectively with my patients and colleagues and to promote teamwork in order to provide optimal care. I pledge to always remember my patients are not just patients. They are people just like me. I pledge to be an advocate for my patients with multiple times their lives. I will practice patient and family-centered care, and I will make time to listen to my patients' fears and struggles. I pledge to practice with integrity. I realize that nursing is not simply a discipline. It is an art, science, and way of life. Caring is at the center of my being, and I will pursue it in all directions. I pledge to do all of these things remembering and make a difference in the lives of my patients each day.
Thank you to my sister Kate, who let me practice my head-to-toe assessment on her, even though we both couldn't stop laughing, and who always tells me I look good in my burnt orange scrubs, even though she's an Aggie. She has always been the best example of what it looks like to be a compassionate and caring person. I would also like to give a huge thank you to my mom and dad, who have given me endless love and support in every aspect of my life. They continuously encourage me to pursue my dreams and never let me back down, even when things are challenging. I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
Thank you to my friends, family, and loved ones who have supported and helped me get to where I am today. I love y'all. Y muchas gracias, mami y papi, por todo lo que hacen por mí. Estoy muy agradecida y los quiero mucho.
Hi everybody, I just wanted to say thank you to my mom and my dad and my two amazing brothers and my amazing grandparents and all my family and friends for supporting me and for giving me the world. I wouldn't be here without you guys, and I'm very excited for these next few years of my life and this next chapter and to have you guys by my side through it all. So thank you guys so much and welcome.
I'm excited for this next step in my nursing education, working with patients in a clinical setting and seeing what being a nurse is really about. I'm ready to make the most of these experiences so that I can become a strong patient advocate and a caring nurse. I'm incredibly grateful for my family, for lovingly providing everything that I need to succeed, and also for the friends that I've made in nursing school who have encouraged and empowered me every step of the way.
My name is Tay Kim. I just want to start by thanking my parents and all my friends who supported me for the past 2 years. This major of being a nurse has meant so much to me. I think being a nurse is all about compassion. It's all about care. So being able to do that in the future is the dream, and I'm just so thankful to be in this position and given this opportunity to pursue what I truly want to do. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kaylin. I just want to come on here and say thank you to my mom, my sister, and my family for all the love and support that they've shown me while I've been in nursing school. They have seen me go through the emotional roller coaster of nursing school, and they're still there to support me each and every day, and I know that they're going to continue to support me in the future, and for that I am very grateful. So I just want to come on here and say thank you. So thank you.
Yes, I'd like to thank my grandmother, who's always been there for me, through thick and thin, no matter what. Next, I'd like to thank my beautiful, loving girlfriend, who always, stood by me, through everything. And lastly, I'd like to give a special shout out to all my nursing friends. Y'all know who you are, for always reminding me of every deadline that I forget, making sure I'm good, and, always being there for me as well. So thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Michelle Nguyen, and I'm a J1. I want to specifically thank my parents, my mom and dad, for being so supportive of me for this career choice that I've chosen. I know it's not easy for me to be far away from home, but I'm so grateful that they're supportive of me coming up here to Austin to study into a career that I am passionate about. And I hope in the future that I can show the same support and the same passion for my patients who are going through whatever they're going through.
Hi, I just want to come on here and say how thankful I am for my parents and my family, especially my mom and my sister and my tia and my grandma. Y'all are my biggest support system. I wouldn't be here without y'all. So thank you for constantly motivating me and being there for me through all the difficult times that I've been through. I literally couldn't be here without you. So thank you, everybody. I love you and I miss you and I can't wait to see you.
Hi, my name is Kendall Reese, and I just wanted to take some time to thank both of my parents, my sister, and my grandparents for always supporting me throughout all the years I've been in school. They've always been there to laugh with me, cry with me, support me the whole way, and I'm just so very thankful to have them and continue to have them while I start my nursing career officially. Thank you, guys.
Hi everybody, my name is Brooke. I just want to thank my friends and family and anybody else that has helped me or invested in my education so far. I am incredibly honored and excited to be joining such a compassionate and loving community of nurses. I can't wait to be a nurse. I will be pursuing grad school, and I hope to make a difference in women's health. Thank you so much for being here for me and supporting me. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
I want to thank God, my parents, and my siblings for inspiring me to do nursing and for pushing me and just being a source of inspiration. I think nursing is such a selfless career, and I want to positively impact people and their health by serving the community. I think love, patience, and compassion encompass what it means to be a good nurse, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for me and for how I will serve